intimacy in any marriage is important. Like, it's a way that you're going to build a deeper bond and connection with your husband. And I feel like there are different forms of intimacy. And when we think about intimacy a lot, we start to think about like sexual intimacy, which is definitely a part of being intimate, but it's not all. It's not the whole thing. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to be more intimate with your husband. And if that's something you are looking for, then definitely stay tuned. Hey ladies, I'm Stephanie. Welcome to my channel. Intimacy, like I said, is important. And I think this is a perfect time because we are coming up on one of my favorite holidays, which is Valentine's Day. And what better way to connect with your husband than on the most romantic day, other than like an anniversary. But that's like the second romantic day of the year. And for me, intimacy definitely starts before the bedroom. It's not the end all be all, but the bedroom is definitely an important form of intimacy, but for me, it starts before the bedroom. And there are different forms of intimacy. There is emotional, where it's more about your feelings, your thoughts, your inner, like, how are you doing? Really, not the surface level feelings, not that okay when you're not really okay, but really, how are you doing? Next one I want to talk about is physical intimacy. Of course, that includes sex. Talking about your experiences with sex with your husband, talking about what you like and don't like and how often, or if it's too much. Really getting deep into those type of feelings and being more intimate on that connection. Another type of intimacy is spiritual intimacy. So that's more of how you connect on a spiritual level with God and your spirituality and religion. The next type of intimacy I want to talk about is intellectual intimacy. How you view things in our world, in our culture. What are your beliefs about those things? And then social intimacy, how you do things together, when you do things together, and just taking interest in each other's hobbies and other interests. So building those types of intimacies, I think, definitely takes trust, definitely takes for people to open up and be honest and just open about their feelings and beliefs. But on the other hand, it takes trust to do that. So if someone is opening up and pouring their heart out to you, then I think it does the marriage a disservice if someone is judgmental about it or just doesn't create that safe space for someone to come and talk to their spouse about their innermost feelings and thoughts. I think that your spouse should be your one, your person that you can come to, and your best friend. Like, you are one. And there should be nothing you should not be able to discuss with your spouse. I do understand that there are going to be some form of intimacy that you may have more in over the other. And there are some forms of intimacy that just takes a little bit more time to grow and develop in. I've been married for 9 years, and I have definitely experienced some of these more higher in one season of our marriage and some lower in other seasons of our marriage. But I think once you really realize that you want to build that intimacy, there are some things that you can do in order to build that. And I feel like before we jump into that, I do want to mention that as you grow, as you get older, your thoughts, your beliefs and stuff will change. So I was 18 when I met my husband, and I'm 32 now. I'm just not the same. I don't think the same. I don't have the same beliefs as I did at 18. And so we had to kind of reconstruct our intimacy, or the way that we behave towards one another, or the way that we talked to each other, or just really, we had to relearn each other. And we will continue to have to relearn each other as we get older, because we change and we think different things, and life changes us, our life experience changes us. So I think that we never stop growing in intimacy, and we should never stop striving to reach a deeper bond and connection with our husband. I think over time, it took time for us to get to a level of sharing different things. But again, like I said, we are not at this end all be all level. We are still growing and still learning things about each other and still sharing things about each other to build an even closer bond. So for number one, I think it's just in order of being vulnerable with your spouse, being open, and then allowing your spouse the chance to take care of that, a chance to build that trust, and also not being judgmental. In order for somebody to continue to open up and be vulnerable, there has to be a safe space created for that first, in order for a level of connection to grow and a bond to grow within a marriage. So I think number one is to definitely be vulnerable about your feelings and your thoughts and your beliefs and be able to open up. I think number two for me was really huge, and something that I strive to do a lot is to create opportunities of intimacy. I'm just someone who just really likes to, find new ways and to build a connection with my husband, find new things to do together that we really enjoy. And one of the things that I found was this skin deep game. I mean, it's not really a game. It's just it's more like a conversation starter. And you just really just pull a card, like different types of questions that you'll ask each other. And these are not like surface level questions. These are some really deep questions, allow you to get the conversation going and just be able to connect more on an emotional or even any level. I think there are different cards in here for different types of intimacy. So it just allows you to not, again, talk about like surface level things and just really talk about some really deep things as it pertains to your marriage and your individual experiences. So I think that if you're looking for like more conversation starters, something that will help you develop a deeper bond with your husband, I think trying out these cards will definitely help. I'll put the link to where I found these in the description box. I believe I ordered these on Amazon. I know this company has their own website, but I believe I got these on Amazon. But I'll definitely put the link to these in the description box because these were really, really helpful for my husband and I just ask different questions and talk about different things without having to have pressure of like, okay, what to bring up or whatever. And then this also pertains to your specific relationship. So it's going to ask you questions about, y'all relationship. So again, if interested, I'll put the link to these in the description box. And with that, I think that it's important to come up with your own questions to ask and not assume different things. So if you are thinking about something that you want to ask your spouse, then I feel like go ahead and ask that question, because it's something that will allow your spouse to know that you are thinking of them and that you are really paying attention to their feelings and how they're feeling. So there's nothing wrong with, I feel like, asking a question if you see something is off about your spouse, or if you feel like the connection is just not there. Just ask the question. Asking a question is better than assuming something about your spouse that's just not true. Another way I think is easy to build intimacy with your husband is to explore different things to do together. I know that you have like your different interests and things like that, and that can become something that you could do together sometimes, or just maybe find something that you like to do together, and that way you'll be able to create some really good memories and just bond over those different memories together. The overall goal of becoming more intimate with your husband is not to like agree on everything, or not to feel like you have to like what he likes and agree on all of his views and beliefs. That's not the goal for me. The goal is to create a safe environment where it's non-judgmental, it's safe, and you feel comfortable enough to express your deepest, darkest thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about different topics that you want to talk about, and not feel like you are judged for it, not feel like you are living with a stranger. So if you're interested in more content on self-care for wives, marriage, and homemaking tips, then I will encourage you to subscribe to my channel for more videos like such. And if you're interested in even more of a closer knit, supportive community for wives, then I did create a private Facebook group. I'll put that link down in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Mom and dad's only daughter, do I make